Now, you might be wondering something. If this trap is so obvious, why does every generation keep falling into it? Why didn't boomers warn Gen X? Why didn't Gen X warn millennials? Why isn't Gen Z learning from everyone who came before them? Because the trap evolves. The details change. The packaging changes. But the psychology never does. Human beings are social creatures. For thousands of years, our survival depended on fitting into the group, being accepted, being respected, being admired. Our brains are literally wired to care about status. And companies know this. Advertisers know this. Social media platforms definitely know this. That's why almost every advertisement you see is not really selling a product. It's selling a version of yourself, a better version, a more successful version, a more admired version. Think about car commercials. They're rarely about transportation. Think about luxury watches. They're rarely about telling time. Think about expensive clothing. They're rarely about staying warm. The product isn't the product. The status is the product. And every generation buys a different version of status. Boomers bought houses. Gen X bought lifestyles. Millennials bought experiences. Gen Z buys aesthetics. Different products. Same emotional trigger. The desire to feel like you've made it. And once you understand that, you start seeing it everywhere. Let's talk numbers for a moment. Imagine two people. Both earn $100,000 per year. The first person spends almost everything they make. Nice house, nice car, luxury vacations, designer purchases. The second person looks much more ordinary. Older car, smaller house, fewer upgrades. But every month they invest the difference. 10 years later, who looks richer? Probably the first person. Who is richer? Almost certainly the second. Because wealth and lifestyle are not the same thing. In fact, they often move in opposite directions. The more money you use to create the appearance of wealth, the less money remains available to actually create wealth. That's the paradox. Many people spend years looking rich instead of becoming rich. And by the time they realize the difference, they've lost decades of compounding. There's one reason this trap is so expensive. Compounding. Every dollar you spend today has a hidden cost, not just the dollar itself, but what that dollar could have become. Let's imagine Marcus spends $5,000 every year on extra trips and luxury experiences. That doesn't sound outrageous. Many people spend much more. But if that same $5,000 were invested annually and earned an average market return over several decades, it could grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the invisible cost. Most financial mistakes don't hurt immediately. If they did, nobody would make them. The pain arrives years later. That's why the trap feels harmless. You don't see the future wealth you're giving up. You only see the immediate reward. A nicer car today. A nicer vacation today. A nicer gadget today. The future version of you pays the bill. And unfortunately, future you doesn't get a vote. Current you makes the decision. That's why wealthy people often appear boring. They're constantly making decisions that benefit a future version of themselves, while everyone else is optimizing for today. Let me give you a simple test, a brutally honest one. Imagine tomorrow morning you wake up and discover something strange. Nobody can see your purchases anymore. Nobody can see your car. Nobody can see your clothes. Nobody can see your vacations. Nobody can see your home. Nobody can see your social media. Nobody can see your lifestyle. Only you know what you own. Now ask yourself, would you still buy the same things? Would you still upgrade the car? Would you still book the expensive vacation? Would you still buy the luxury brand? Would you still move into the bigger house? If the answer is yes, great. You genuinely value those things. But if the answer is no, then the purchase was never about you. It was about being seen. And that's where many people discover a hard truth. A surprising percentage of spending has very little to do with personal happiness. It's social signaling. It's trying to communicate success, trying to communicate status, trying to communicate arrival. And here's the irony. The people whose opinions matter most in your life probably don't care nearly as much as you think they do. Most people are too busy worrying about their own lives, their own bills, their own goals, their own insecurities. Yet millions of people are making financial decisions based on impressing an audience that isn't even paying attention. That's a costly mistake. The biggest financial lie every generation believes is this: once I get there, I'll be secure. The destination changes, but the sentence stays the same. For Robert, it was the house. For Karen, it was the lifestyle. For Marcus, it was the experiences. For Zoe, it's the aesthetic. But wealth isn't a destination. It's a system, a set of habits repeated for decades. And the people who win financially aren't usually the smartest. They're not always the highest earners. They're simply the people who learn to separate appearance from reality. Because at the end of the day, your future doesn't care how successful you looked. It only cares about the assets you built. And that's the lesson every generation eventually learns. The only question is, will you learn it now or later? There's another reason this trap is so powerful. Because the modern world makes spending look like wealth. Think about it. When you see someone driving a luxury car, what do you assume? They're wealthy. When you see someone living in a large house, they're wealthy. When you see someone posting from a luxury resort, they're wealthy. But here's the reality. You don't know. The car might be financed. The house might be heavily mortgaged. The vacation might be sitting on a credit card. The lifestyle might be funded by debt. One of the strangest things about money is that real wealth is usually invisible. You can see spending. You cannot see savings. You can see purchases. You cannot see investment accounts. You can see the vacation. You cannot see the portfolio. And because spending is visible while wealth is invisible, people naturally focus on the wrong thing. They chase what can be seen, not what actually creates security. The result? A society full of people trying to look rich while feeling financially stressed. And that's exactly how the trap survives generation after generation. Now let's talk about something that affects every generation. Comparison. Robert compared himself to the families on his street. Karen compared herself to coworkers. Marcus compared himself to friends. Zoe compares herself to the entire internet. The technology changes. The comparison never does. The problem is that comparison destroys financial logic. Suddenly, decisions stop being about what you need. They become about what everyone else appears to have. Someone buys a bigger house. Now your house feels smaller. Someone buys a newer car. Now your car feels older. Someone posts a vacation. Now your weekend at home feels boring. Nothing actually changed. Only the comparison changed. And that's dangerous because comparison has no finish line. No matter how successful you become, there will always be someone richer, someone younger, someone further ahead, someone with more followers, someone with a bigger portfolio. If your financial decisions are driven by comparison, you'll spend your entire life chasing a target that keeps moving. The people who build lasting wealth learn to stop competing with strangers. They compete with their own goals instead. Most people think wealth buys stuff. It doesn't, at least not primarily. What wealth really buys is options. The option to retire when you want. The option to spend more time with family. The option to leave a job you hate. The option to handle emergencies without panic. The option to sleep peacefully at night. Think about that. The true value of money isn't what it lets you buy. It's what it lets you choose. And that's why the people who understand wealth think differently. When they invest money, they're not just buying stocks. They're buying future freedom. When they save money, they're not depriving themselves. They're creating choices. When they avoid unnecessary debt, they're protecting flexibility. Everything comes back to freedom. And freedom is far more valuable than appearances. Because appearances impress people. Freedom changes lives. Let's finish with a thought experiment. Imagine meeting yourself 20 years from now. Not the version you hope to become. The version created by the financial decisions you're making today. What would that person say? Would they thank you? Would they be grateful for the investments you made? The discipline you showed? The assets you built? Or would they ask why you traded long-term security for short-term status? Why you spent money trying to look successful instead of becoming successful? Because every financial decision is really a conversation between two people. The person you are today and the person you'll become tomorrow. The challenge is that today's version gets the vote, while tomorrow's version lives with the consequences. The people who escape this trap understand that. They don't make decisions solely for today's happiness. They make decisions that protect tomorrow's opportunities. And over time, those small decisions create enormous differences. Two people can earn the same income for 30 years. Yet one retires with freedom, and the other retires with regret. Not because of luck, not because of intelligence, but because one built assets while the other built appearances. And that difference changes everything.